Oh.
And she is down. Our medics are right here.
Alright, hey everyone. For you, I guess it's only been a week, but for me it's been over 2 months since I've talked into a camera. So this is kind of weird, but really awesome. I'm happy to be back. So today I'm going to give you a look at my last rodeo of the season, as well as a jackpot that I did just before finals. There was 2 weeks off in between the last rodeo and the jackpot I'm going to show you. And then the next video will be all about my finals experience. It was my first jackpot finals experience, so that'll be pretty cool too. Okay, so this weekend was a really fun weekend. I have family in Astron, and that's where this rodeo was. And my parents have a cabin in right by Astron, so I was able to take Athena there the night before, and we had some really fun times. I took her swimming in the lake, and I didn't know how she'd feel about it. She loved it, which was so cool. She was like bounding in the water, and it was just an absolute blast. I can't even explain how amazing that experience was with her. And then we woke up the next morning and went to the rodeo, so I'll show you that now. Alright, so this rodeo was a really awesome, important one for me. I have family in Astron, and so I hometowned this rodeo. The thing is, it's an MRCA, CCA sanctioned, or co-sanctioned rodeo, so that's a little bit of a higher caliber than we're used to doing, Athena and I. So I was really nervous. So I'll show you the prelim and what happened, and then I'll talk a little more about it afterwards. Alright, so we're at the Astron MRCA rodeo. It's co-sanctioned with CCA, so it's a little bit of a higher level than what we have been doing. So I'm actually a lot more nervous than what I was for every other rodeo. So this will be a fun one. I think it's going to be pretty big compared to what we're used to, at least. So yeah, just getting ready right now, and then we'll head out.
St. Andrews, Manitoba is where we're going to go. Oh, sounds like she's got a cheering section over there. Here she comes. And she's got this little horse running. This kind of took her head away from her in a little minute, but she's still going. Good run, cowgirl. Here. 17.
Oh.
And she is down.
What happened? Did she hit
the
gate or anything? Just fell out?
Slid and she fell off.
Our medics are right here.
That run, I was pretty happy about it. What happened, our first barrel was really nice. I was happy. And then we came and we were leaving first barrel, and the pattern set at like an angle to the arena. So like if the arena is like this square, the pattern was set like this. So first, second, and third, because the gate was there. And so I'm coming around first barrel, and I was mentally prepared myself before to like look towards the barrel, not the fence. But you know, you're just so used to looking towards the fence. So that's what I did, and I sent her like right across, which obviously was not where the barrel was. So halfway through I had to like yank her over and force her to get around that second barrel, which you can obviously see. We made it around, but it was kind of crazy. Then we were going to third, and she had a beautiful third turn, and I was really pushing her past the timer line because the timer line was pretty close to the fence, and I didn't want her shutting down. And so I'm like pushing her past the timer line, And then I look forward and I'm like, crap, the fence. So I pulled her back and she just sat down and tried to stop, and she just slid forward right into the fence. And obviously she deked that way and I went that way. But what was really funny about this was that as I'm coming off, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, first of all, this is my first rodeo where it's like a big thing, right? You know, the first one that's a little more higher caliber, and I'm like, in front of all these people that I look up to, of course this is gonna happen, like, of course. So I'm laying on the ground and I go to get up and I can't get up. My helmet, when I fell off, I was thrown against the fence. And then as I go down, I guess my head like tilted back, and the lip, like the visor of my helmet got stuck underneath the fence. So I was like this, and my head was over here, this is the fence, and my helmet was stuck like that. So I'm like trying to get up, and the strap was so tight around here that I couldn't reach it to undo it. So I'm laying there, I'm like, I'm not hurt, I know I'm not hurt. And everybody's rushing to me. The announcer's like, medics are on the way. I'm like, no, I just can't get my helmet off. So I was laying there, and I've got about like 6 hands trying to undo this helmet. And I'm like, oh, finally it got done, and I just like jumped up and like was like, hey, I'm all right. My family was freaking out, especially my dad, which, shh, don't tell him I told you that. And yeah, it was just like an of course experience, right? Where you're like, this had to happen here, and this had to happen now in front of all these people and I look up to, in front of all of my family. It was just a funny experience, and I'm able to laugh about it. I think that's a really cool thing I've learned over the season, is to laugh about this kind of stuff, because I mean, there's not much I could have done about it, and definitely can't do anything afterwards. So I just got up and was like, well, that was fun, and then moved on. So yeah, it was a really good run for what happened, and I was happy with how I handled everything. Athena was perfectly fine. I mean, she saved herself, right? So yeah, it was an interesting experience. So now, after the Astron Rodeo, I had 2 weeks off. In those 2 weeks, I just kind of let Athena recuperate for the first week. Just, you know, it's been a long season, and I wanted her body to kind of have time to relax. So I did some massaging, just some light rides with her. Second week, we started practicing again, really getting her to rate and go full tilt towards barrels. So that was really great. This pony's been creeping up on her, eating, and I'm curious what she's gonna do. Hey! We went to this jackpot. It was a charity jackpot for cancer, and that was a really special one. There's so many people that are touched by cancer, and it was really nice to see all the people come out and support. They raised, I believe it was over $13,000 for charity, which is amazing. So this was a really great event to be a part of, and I'll show you that run right now.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Would you go see if she's alright? Danielle, 18.412.
So obviously that wasn't what I was wanting to happen. Athena was just really hot and just really wanted to run. So she ran past first. I kind of like really muscled her around second, and I thought, okay, she went around second good, third will be fine. So I just like let her fly to third, and she blew right past third too. So that was my fault. I probably should have just like muscled around third too, instead of just thinking that because we got around second, she would just rate for third on her own. Obviously she didn't. But you know what? It was a really good experience. I love running in that arena. Dusty, the person that runs a series at that arena, as well as this charity jackpot, is an amazing person, and it was really great to see all the people supporting everything, and I was really happy to be a part of that. So even though it didn't go the way I wanted it to, I was just really happy to be out there and supporting that cause, because that's, at the end of the day, that's the important thing, is really supporting the people around you and being there for those who need it. So I was really happy to be there. I just want to quickly talk to you guys about something that I think is really important, and I don't think you see a lot of this during these videos. This is a really tough sport in a lot of different ways, but mentally it can be very taxing. It's very thankless, and I just wanted to quickly talk to you guys about the mental side of things. I've been getting really into sports psychology and looking into different books and different podcasts and really wanting to improve myself as an athlete. So I just wanted to quickly talk to you guys about how important mental toughness is, and not just in sports, but in your lives in general. I'm a person that really can struggle sometimes. I'm not going to go deep into that, but I just want you guys to know that it is a thing. I know that there's a lot of talk about mental illness nowadays, and it's almost too much. But for those of you that, you know, really have issues struggling, keep going. I know it can be tough, and I know nobody really understands your own personal situation, but as long as you're doing everything you possibly can to improve, and as long as you're not making excuses for yourself, then anything is possible, and B, you're gonna get help along the way. You just need to, what's the saying? God helps those that help themselves. So that saying rings true whether you believe or not. The universe helps those that help themselves. And I think that that's something that a lot of people need to hear nowadays. Yes, you might have your issues, whether it be mental or physical, but it's really all about your mindset, your attitude. If you've got a good attitude, the universe is going to stand behind you. If you've got a good attitude, you're going to get some helpful pushes along the way. If you've got a good attitude, it's not going to matter what else is going around you, or what else is going on around you. What's gonna matter is the person that you are, the family that you have, the love that you have, and family isn't always blood, but it's just the people that love you and have your back. And I just want to give a big shout out. I know as the weather changes, it can sometimes set people off, and I just wanted to say, you know, I'm behind you, and I know you've got loved ones behind you, whether you can see it or not, they are there, and you know, the universe loves you. Just make sure you got that good attitude. So that's a really quick recap on how everything went down over the last month there. That was a month span. That was 3 weeks. That was 3 weeks. Well, I will see you next week where I go over my entire finals experience. It was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot along the way. So I will see you next week.